Apex, the peak of South African motoring.
What's happening?
I think if it wasn't for the blue sticker and then of course the e-Golf badges all around the car, so you'll find one on the grille, on the side and then at the rear as well, you wouldn't really have been able to tell that this is an emissions-free Volkswagen Golf.
Just looks like an older model Golf.
Yeah,
basically.
Standard Golf 7 and then of course with the model specific wheels and the blue stripe, whereas you'll find the red detailing at the front of the grille and in the headlamps of the GTI. In the e-Golf, it's blue. Volkswagen brought 6 of them to South Africa to, well, raise awareness of their EV strategy and I think see how the South African public will react to it. And Van, with electric cars, what are your thoughts?
Look, I think there's a place for it. Well, obviously everybody makes the usual Eskom jokes and they are quite relevant considering where I live. Yes. There's one charging station, but it's not in a close proximity to my house. Yeah. So charging at home, like last night, was interesting as well. Like I've also got a little electric unit at the moment. So that was interesting, but I think that's something we can work around. Like there's so much opportunity for us to kind of hone in on this. From a practicality point of view, the only thing that I think is kind of giving us 10 steps back from the rest is literally our infrastructure and the fact that we're not getting incentivized to spend more on electric vehicles than we would on kind of normal petrol cars. But I dig it. I think there's quite a bit of charm on it, unless you're like wanting to drive to the Karoo. There's like zero charm there and you will never go on that road trip. But for city driving, I think there's a place. But yeah, should we go for a little zzz?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, cool, man. This is quiet.
It is very quiet inside and it's so
responsive.
Well, it's so relaxing to drive. I mean, as I mentioned, Volkswagen brought in this car to see, I think, to test perceptions of South Africans about EVs. And I mean, before we set off, 2 people came walking past and they were very impressed with the car. I mean, they looked at the car and they were just like, is this electric? I mean, of course we answered yes, and their reply was wow. And they were really interested in the car. So I mean, I think there's definitely a market.
And the age, it's one of those 2 old bullies.
Yeah.
Well, like if you look at the age, like what, 50, 60, and that's quite interesting to see a interest being piqued of a slightly a generation that's not used to or didn't grow up with this kind of technology. So it's nice to see that the interest is piqued and that there might be an appetite from their side.
Yes. Audi has announced that they won't continue development on internal combustion engines, and I mean, but certain manufacturers they are staying with it for now at least. But of course there is goals set in place for most of them by the year 2030 for a certain percentage of their ranges to comprise only electric vehicles. So
yeah, I think hybrids that kind of entry in, but I do think that's going to kind of, I don't think manufacturers are going to wait for hybrid to kind of be fully accepted before they go the full EV route. I think like I feel like now everybody's just ready and ballsy to go the EV route.
Yeah.
And I think when e-tron and all of that madness from Audi's coming next year, it's gonna the whole perception of electric vehicles will be blown out the water. Like it will be, it's a cool car, it's something cool to have. Yeah. And it's practical. Well, hopefully by then it'll be very practical. Right now it's practical-ish. But yeah, I like how quiet this is. Probably the most quiet Golf I've ever been in, except for that. Like that ghost came with us. But I don't know, let's see what the future holds.
Yeah. Want to take it for a drive?
I do, but yeah, I definitely do. But it's like I drove the Golf 8 the other day, so I've got like a little bit still recovering from that. But no.
Well, I have a challenge. Let's see. The range is on 73 kilometers now.
Okay.
And this is downhill. So let's see
how much regeneration we can.
Yeah, how much regeneration we can get to increase the range on our way back.
Okay, so in a couple of minutes, let's see. So 73. Okay. No pressure whatsoever.
I mean, this morning I did take it for a charge, and it was an hour's charge more or less, and that amounted to an additional range of about, let's say, 30 kilometers.
And did you go to a charging station?
Yes, I did. Although this car isn't available in the South African market, and of course it is the Golf 7, so of course it is basically discontinued, I think would be fair to say. I think it would be interesting to see how Golf owners react to an electric Golf, especially seeing that reaction to a car that wears the Golf badge, but has an E at the front of it.
Be interesting to see, and like especially like we always talk about the cult and the culture behind Golf owners. Like there should be a bit of a what's happening here. I think there might be interest, but I don't know if you can convince the hardcore GTI owner to go this route. But yeah, look, I'm up 77 and I'm going up.
Not bad. So we've gained 3 kilometers.
There we go. And are we on Eco Plus?
Yes.
Okay. I can feel it. I'm getting quite hot. Cape Town sun, no aircon. It takes me back to the old days when I had a little fuller. Even though that the aircon consisted of
over. The e-Golf is pretty well equipped. It has everything you can possibly ask for. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and I mean it is a unique driving experience, especially as you mentioned the previous Golf you drove was the Golf 8 GTI, and now getting it's a Golf 7, but into a Golf,
still that familiar feel.
So Van, after experiencing
90,
okay, and we went from 74
92. I don't even know how this happened.
I might be able to get home and back now.
Precision driving. Yeah, sorry, 93, there we go. Put it out to the driver. 94, we're winning all the way. Well, sorry, I am, but you have really exceeded expectations. You have beat the challenge by far. There we go.
But how have you been experiencing driving the e-Golf?
It's like that familiar, like you feel home because it's so Golf. Like, it's got that home feel. Yeah. Like it's comfortable. Like there's nothing that makes you sit back and go, but it is just an EV. Yeah. It's not just an EV. Like I dig it. Yeah. So my expectations have been exceeded. Other than that very sensitive parking sensor, and it is obviously the ghost of Camps Bay that we picked up. But other than that, no. Listen, I'm thoroughly impressed by this. I might even, I give it a good rating. Like out of 10, I'd give it like a solid 8. Can't buy it here, so I might be too privy to it. But no, it's nice handling, everything. Just like the finish is golf.
Yeah.
It's comfy, it's reliable, you've got a good dealer network, so all the positives for there. Where, like, come on, if you're going to drop 2 bar on a Tesla, what are you going to do if any of those batteries go? Who are you going to call? Volkswagen. Yeah. Like, you're not going to call Tesla. Like, you'll want to be like, yeah, so about that. Yeah, so from a dealer network and all of that, if they do decide to finally kind of
Like
gift us with EVs,
yeah,
VW would be a good go-to.
Yeah, I think this is a good taster.
Yeah.
A good appetizer of what.
A nice hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah.
Give me a glass of bubbles and off we go. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go for a mimosa.
Yeah, and get an Uber.
A mimosa and an Uber. Okay, cool. Cheers.
Apex, the peak of South African motoring.